points out so powerfully and consistently all the significant breakthroughs or breakwiths, old ways of thinking. Einstein, who rewrote physics, he made this brilliant statement: these significant problems we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. You see, it causes us to be reflective and introspective, to explore our own paradigms. Most people focus upon behavior and upon attitude, and both of those are, of course, very important. But far more fundamental than either behavior or attitude is a paradigm. How many of you here have ever been to the crazy mirror room in the carnival? Well, what if that was the only source of information you had on your body? This weird caricature. I mean, it showed me without any hair, if you can believe it. See, most people's self-maps are a function of the social mirror. They live out of the social mirror and their memory. A mother the other day said to me, "I cannot believe my child." All of a sudden she turned 17 and she's like a different person. I have never seen anyone so uncooperative, so rebellious, so angry, so unwilling to do anything to help us at home, or to even be open to influence at all. Now, what is happening to the map or the paradigm in her head? And what you do when you have that, you act upon it. That is the image that you have in your head of this person. It's the map you have of this person. Now, someone could say to you, just as I did here, try harder. Try to be more positive. But as long as a person carries that map, that image of this other person in their head, they're going to treat them that way. As soon as they treat them that way, the tendency is for people to respond accordingly. It's called the self-fulfilling prophecy. People live up to the social mirror that surrounds them. Now, I said to this mother, notice how you see your daughter. Well, it's not how I see her, it's the way she is. Potentially, is she capable of so much more? Oh, yes, I know that. Why don't you see her in terms of her potential? Is not her potential part of the reality of her life? Isn't it really the larger part? Where the present manifestation, as she goes through, say, the emotional ups and downs of her teenage so-called identity crisis, you could live out of your imagination and out of a map, a paradigm, a view based upon her potential, which you deeply really believe in. Yeah, but what do I do with all this behavior and the totally unwillingness to cooperate, to do her part? Observe your paradigm. Observe the map you have of her. I remember I was in a situation like that. One of our teenage sons, just between the grade school and junior high, was just not performing. He wasn't adequate in any area. Athletically, people would fall apart with laughter watching. You know, almost swinging the bat before the ball was pitched. Academically, not only wouldn't do well on tests, couldn't even begin to take them. Socially, sometimes very embarrassing. Now look at the evidence we have. And Sandra and I, my wife, we talk about this. Well, maybe every family deserves their one. But we cared about this boy, and we were very worried. And I remember one time talking about the same subject in Armonk, New York. And I was talking about a study which opened up the whole field of what's called the self-fulfilling prophecy. There's a computer in England called the Bright Group, dumb, essentially. Here's the teachers. It's the Bright Group over here. It's got 120, 130 IQ. They love education. They love learning. You'll really enjoy them. This group here, you can kind of tell when you just look at their faces. This group, they're very fine people too. But they don't have the same candle power, and you have to respect that. Now notice what's happening. I'm talking as if I'm describing reality, right? This is the way they are. And they buy it. And they act on it for a period of several months. In other words, it becomes their view, their paradigm. But you know what? Several months later, they discovered there was a computer mistake of some kind, and the two groups were switched. They immediately tested, without telling anything to anybody. This group here went up something like 18 points. This group went down 14 points.